What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And this one break down what's going on with NIO stock and break down some very important catalysts that's coming out over the next couple of trading days. I'm also going to talk about the Chinese registration stat and what it's suggesting for NIO and why NIO is going to most likely either meet expectations or beats them, in my opinion, when looking at the data thus far. Before I break things down all this information, before I talk about why on earth things are looking pretty good for NIO thus far, let me just mention a couple of things. I am firstly not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire NIO community as a whole. So anyways, let's talk about some data. Let's talk about what's going on with NIO and then break down something very important. So guys, we have some very important delivery data coming out around January 1st here in the USA for NIO. And NIO is going to announce their December deliveries and the Q4 deliveries and the entire yearly deliveries as well, to let us know how they did for the entire year and how their numbers are looking. This is going to be very important for their projections and how well NIO is doing at meeting investors' expectations. So I want to break down why on earth, in my opinion, NIO is going to do well, how the numbers are looking so far, and some very important things to know. So I was going to China EV Post, and what I found is that when you look at the data, things are looking pretty good for NIO, at least so far. If you I actually have all the data right here for the November deliveries, the October deliveries, and also what we're seeing so far from the month with the deliveries. And this is going to be very, very important. As of right now, at the end of November, their year-to-date deliveries were up about 33% year over year. And once again, year-to-date, they're up 142,000 in deliveries, which is not bad. But I want to focus now on the data that just came out. I'm going to put all of this on a Google Doc and make this super, super simple, super easy to understand. So according to the data, and we can actually double check this data, we can actually see the numbers right here. I have the numbers from October and also November right over here, just to like double check how accurate this is. You guys can see how these numbers looked, and NIO did relatively well during the time. When it comes to their overall deliveries, we also have some more data right here for what their cumulative deliveries were. At total, we had about 431,000 as of November 30th. So not bad whatsoever. But let's look at the numbers for this quarter and then break down something very important. So look at the registrations in China. It's very simple. We had 15,959 vehicles delivered in November, according to registrations, and that aligned very well with the actual number. So this is what we got so far, which is not bad, pretty good from NIO. Then on top of that, for October, we got about 16,074. 16,074, which is not bad at all whatsoever. They actually did relatively well. And then for December, and actually, let me actually kind of like move these around. So I think, because I think I put November first and then I put the other one afterwards. So we did 16,000 in October. All right. Just under 16,000 in November. And then for December, we're at about 12,000 from December 1st through the 24th. Keep in mind there's one more week left, and the final week tends to be the strongest. Okay? So if you add all these numbers up, okay, if you add all of these up with the calculator, you're going to get about 44,000 deliveries thus far. And NIO announced that their goal is 47 to 49,000 vehicle deliveries for the quarter. That's going to be another record for them, up another 20% year over year. Can NIO achieve 47,000 to about 49,000? The answer is yes. I think it's going to easily meet that target, but the question is, will they beat the target? That's going to be the bigger question. So here's how you could calculate this. So if you take 12,000 deliveries in 24 days, that's an average, right? An average of basically 500 per day. And if you have basically 7 days left, right? 7 days left for the year, that's going to equal an additional 3,500 plus. So we know if they basically maintain the current rate of deliveries, we are basically going to get, well over 47,500, right? But here's the thing about this. And I want to account for what a lot of you are probably thinking. The rate of deliveries tends to not be the same throughout the year. The last week of the year tends to be the tightest, and they tend to do even better than that. So I don't think they're just going to do 3,500. They could do, for example, like 5,000 instead, even 6,000. That could put us at 49,500, even like 50,000. So it all comes down to this final week. How well do they do? Do they do an average of 500 or do they do even more than that? But either way, if they just maintain the same amount of deliveries per day between December 1st and December 24th, if they just maintain that basically, we're guaranteed at least 47,500, which is going to meet expectations. Is that enough to cause the share price to explode? I wouldn't really think so. I think it could help the share price go up a bit, but I don't think it's going to cause a very explosive move. I think that NIO has to try to give us numbers that are above and beyond. So if we could get something closer to 5,000, if we get closer to 49,000 or even more than that, close to 50,000, that is going to, impress a lot of investors. And that could help the share price start to run even more. Now, although NIO showed some weakness on Friday, technicals alone are not necessarily everything. Just because we had a down day doesn't mean it's going to be bad for deliveries. What's going to determine the bigger move is going to be deliveries. So that being said, the weekly time frame, look at the weekly, we look bullish on the PPO. We got some decent volume. We could see this thing try to break past 10.21 and start pushing into the 10s. We have an unfilled gap to fill around this 12.7 area as well. So could we see this thing push up more? Yes, we can. I think NIO has potential to push up nicely. I think I'm very confident in NIO's capabilities, and I think that NIO is going to try to see some more upside. So I do favor the upside a bit looking at this chart, but just to be safe, I cannot make any promises, guys. It all depends on the data. We're very confident that we're going to get, another 3,500 at the very least. We should get this at the least, which could help the share price. But I'm hoping we get something even higher. I'm hoping we don't just get the average of 500 per day. I hope we do something better than that, and we get closer to 5,000 deliveries. 5,000 deliveries for the last week, putting us at 49 1,500 or close to 50,000. That would once again impress a lot of investors. So, anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope this is as clear as possible what we're basically expecting from NIO. The registrations data tends to be pretty accurate, so I think there's a very good chance they're going to meet expectations, if not beat them. I'm very confident they're going to meet expectations. I just don't know if they're going to beat them by a wide margin. That's where it becomes harder to predict. So we'll just have to wait and see. We'll see how it goes, and we'll have to wait for the official data to come out. But if anything, if they do 15,500 to even like 16 plus thousand, I want to see them get at least 16,000 because, I want to see some growth month over month. December tends to be the strongest month for them, especially historically. Not always the strongest, but tends to be a strong month in general. So let's hope for some strong numbers. Let's hope NIO does at least 16,000. Let's hope they beat that new threshold that's kind of like forming at that 15,000 area. And let's hope they do very, very well relative to last year. Let's see some strong numbers, NIO. Let's hope they do well, and let's see if this could help the share price. I'm very confident they're going to meet expectations. I'm very confident they will, but I don't know if they're going to smash expectations and get to the higher end of it, if not like beat 50,000. So we'll just have to wait and see. But if anything, this favors upside for NIO. I do favor that a bit more, but just to be safe, we'll have to wait and see how the numbers look. All right, that's it for this analysis. Hopefully this video was helpful, guys. Have an absolutely spectacular weekend. Enjoy the new year, and peace out.